music to be played. He didn't want to be in the front line. He always wanted to write for other people. He always thought his voice was like whatever.
Yeah.
And he had people around him that said, no, you got to do it yourself. You know? Yeah. And so that's that story. I found out a little bit about
Armando. My mom mentioning Armando Manzanero. And just, I'm going to fail myself here, but I just remember thinking, like, he must really like apples. I just remember as a kid
that's
thinking
the third
that.
one right there.
What did we say?
No, I took it, and I did. You know what? I swung for the fences with it. I don't care if I whipped.
That's incredible.
It just brought a little cute memory. It brought back a memory for me. Because my mom would be like, ay, qué payaso. You know what I mean? Le han de gustar las manzanas. Stupid. Ya cállate, Kalini. That's how she would say it.
It's so crazy how each one of your parents have influenced what you guys became. Because this man was being a comedian in advance already. You were forced to play music gigs. Your dad was a poet, is a poet.
Right.
You know, so that's an art form in its own. And
Yeah.
you would tell me that you would imagine these things that he was talking about in his poetry.
Rigoberto Sr.?
Yes. And actually, my mom, too, she actually helped me. She says that she didn't, but she probably didn't. But she'd always help me, draw. Do you guys remember Earthworm Jim?
Yes.
So she'd always help me draw him and Knuckles. And I remember the first time that her and I sat down to draw at the same time, I was able to finish my drawing by myself. And for whatever reason, that moment sticks out as the moment I learned how to draw. But it was just something that I just knew how to do. But for whatever reason, I remember being impactful and saying, oh, I know how to draw from this point on.
Would she put him up on the wall?
No, she didn't. She just, they would keep it. And I can go to my parents and they'll show me the books and stuff like that of drawings that they kept from me that I would do when I was a kid.
That's so
Yeah.
cool. Knuckles? Sonic and Knuckles?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. Because it was a McDonald's toy
Yep.
that when he was like in a little cloud and you do this and he would just spin. And that's what I drew.
The Sonic when you pull him back.
And he would take off.
And Earthworm Jim wasn't easy to draw.
No, but
I mean, when he was a worm, yeah, duh. But I mean, he would always get into that suit. I was like, oh, that was a big rocket suit.
I still have that drawing that she did for me. And so it was cool. It was really awesome to have both parents have some type of artistic skills that really, they both really encouraged me since I was a kid. So it's been really nice to have that support system as a kid, as a teen, and then as a young adult, and then finally as an adult.
Does music have influence on your art?
Yes. When you were talking about the Looney Tunes, the Looney Tunes are the reason I love classical music. I think being able to,
Absolutely.
being able
Hands
to
down.
see the artwork and think about the artist and how they put these two together and the music. It's literally, some of them had no words, and it was just the music that carried you through the tempo, through everything, the speed, and that's what really was impactful for me. So I'll listen to classical music. But yeah, I just kind of went blank with the Looney Tunes, but Looney Tunes.
So the classical music is do you put that on while you draw?
There's times where I feel that I need to focus, and I'll put on classical music. I'll put on Leopold, and he's a composer that they used for Looney Tunes a lot. But I just kind of mix my music around. But music has always somehow been part of my life, from radio to even now. Kind of jumping a little bit here, but one of my bosses, he is a really well-known producer. He was at the age of 30 or 32, was the CEO of Virgin Records, and he's made music for Pharrell. If you guys know Matchbox 20,
yeah,
he was he found that group. He writes all their music. So somehow, even after leaving radio, I'm still somehow connected to music, and a lot of the work that we're doing will have some type of that influence in the work eventually.
Did you like radio? I mean,
I loved radio.
You spent some time in radio, right?
I did.
How many stations? 4 stations?
I believe so. I did Latino, Superestrella, and then that's all part of SBS.
I would call it a different station.
Oh, okay,
I would
sure.
call it as a different, right? Wouldn't you say different call letters, different everything? I'd
Yeah.
say it's different.
So and then I went to Superestrella, and they had 3 different stations there.
Oh, okay.
And then from there, the last one, went to Éxitos, and then from Éxitos, I finally stopped at Dash Radio, and that's kind of where I ended my career.
What was it? What was it that you wanted to pursue in radio?
I always wanted to be on air.
Oh, okay.
And
You were.
but have that be the ultimate kind of job, as you know what I mean. I feel like that was kind of the goal. And then I met her, And she literally said, fuck that career, get your ass back in school and finish what you really love.
I said it doesn't make enough money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you guys meet? Because I mean, were you guys together when we were doing the rolling of the posters?
No,
I didn't think so.
no. We've known each other since elementary school.
Oh, really?
We've
Yeah.
known each other that long, but we've been together for about 8 years, 9 years.
When did you guys get married?
4 years ago.
4 years ago.
4 years ago.
Yeah. So,
Did you have a good DJ?
DJ Zoe,
DJ Zoe? A good MC?
did the job.
He was
I'm
all
just
right.
All right.
It's fucked up. No,
It's crazy how we get to be involved in these once in a lifetime events, like to
no,
them.
he killed it. You're tripping.
Who?
No, it's
Zoe.
good. I'm
He asked about the MC.
Oh, MC. Oh, dude, I'm so.
Who was it?
I wonder who that
Didn't
was.
you get that cheap discount too, Cotto?
We had an MC.
you were the MC.
he was the MC / best man.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
great. That's great. He was
Yep.
my MC too.
Oh.
I
Cute.
got him for cheap.
You didn't pay me. But what's crazy is that
You ate steak, bro.
I ate chicken. But you know what's cool is that we met Rigo and Joe Cotto and I met in radio, and again it was so cool just to be a part of like big life moments. Like I personally didn't want to be a part of these things. I not because of the responsibility, but just in general. Like damn, like is this how much I mean to them that
Right.
they make me a part of these big moments and whatnot. But speaking of weddings,
That's a casar.
oh no, well I kind of need a chick for that. Remember, and ring the Saturn's ring,
Saturn's
ring,
ring,
whatever.
Saturn's
So
ring.
we're-
Next
show.
That's what's coming up.
That's the next
Forget
show.
the radio bros. We're sticking to that show. No, but a lot of the first gigs that I ever did, as far as like events on that tip, was with this man right here, with Speedy D.
You talking about weddings and stuff?
Just like events like that, of that nature.
Quintas?
Your cuñada.
Oh, yeah.
That was my first wedding.
That was a day.
Oh, what? Oh, tell him what happened that day.
That was an interesting day. So he was gonna help me for that day. He was just gonna MC. And typically, what I like to do is I tell him, if you're gonna MC, don't worry about it, bro. Just come in and do your thing. Everything's gonna be set up. Just grab the mic, do what you do. That's it. And I love that because when people tell me, "Hey, just come DJ," that's what I expect. In essence, for friends.
Right.
Don't be hounding me like, hey, you got to switch it up to the. And what'd you hire me for, bro? I got this. I'm looking around. I got your people. Don't worry about that. So, anyway, I start trying to load up my equipment early in the morning because I was part of that wedding, but I still had a DJ.
Okay.
And I fuck up, and I'm taking my turntable down my stairs. Mind you, I do this. I was doing this, all the time. Weekend before, the day before, actually. And I don't know why this particular day.
I don't Go.
This particular day, I'm like, I got it. Instead of me holding my turntable to my side, I carried it like a pillow, like I carried it like a baby.
And you couldn't see.
I
the
couldn't
steps.
see in front of me. So, but I did well. I don't know if you remember. There's 2 flights of stairs, so I made it cool down the first, and then the second one, out of nowhere, I knew I missed that step, and the one thing that I worried about was the turntable. So instead of me like throwing that shit, I push it in front of me, and I literally cracked my ankle.
Oh my.
Somehow, and it
You cracked your ankle?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And my turntable fell right on it.
Oh.
So I saved my turntable, obviously.
Oh,
because
okay, good.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry about your ankle.
My
Oh,
turntable,
bro,
my
the
turntable was fine,
turntable.
but it like literally bounced off my shit, like BAM! So
damn.
I'm on the floor, and
This is at the venue or leaving the house?
This was leaving the house.
Okay.
Day of. I
Yeah.
hadn't even changed or nothing because I was like,
You're in the wife beater and the chanclas.
yeah, exactly.
The shorts.
So I'm
One
on the
chocolate on
floor.
other side, another one on the other room.
I'm on the floor, and I know my neighbors heard that shit because I yelled. I was like, oh my God, my son comes running out. What happened? I'm like, I fell, ate shit. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm good. Fine. Like, I'll just suck up the pain. As soon as I got up, I fell right back down.
Oh.
So I was like,
damn.
I don't know how I'm going to do this. So I stayed there for a while. I stayed there probably for about 30 minutes. And then I worked my way back up to the bed. I chilled. And I called my girl, and I'm like, this just happened to me. She starts panicking. She's like, so what? you're not gonna come out in it? And I'm like, well, not only that, I mean, I don't have the equipment loaded up. I don't have anybody to help me. And she's like, fuck. So what are we gonna do? I'm like, I guess I just have to suck it up. No lie, man. I literally did that gig bruised up, like
With
No
the
way.
cracked ankle?
I winded up having a hairline fracture. When I went to go and actually get it looked at, it was a hairline fracture. But that day,
So you walked on it that whole day.
that whole day. Yeah. So, no, mind you, I still had to do this, that whole, when they present you, I had to do that. I still had to walk with my girl. And now, you know, Jesse Avila, Marisol Piña, and then, you know, and I'm like, oh my
Los
God.
padrinos del DJ.
There you go. Yeah. And I had to do that little walk. That shit felt like an eternity.
The forward, the back.
Yeah.
the
So,
forward.
so, and then to top it off.
that introduced you?
Yeah. Oh, right. Exactly. And then to top it all off, the equipment, what was the worst? It was upstairs. There was a second floor that we had to take this equipment up to. So I literally couldn't help. I was doing my best. German and my other friend Angel were the ones that carried all that stuff up. They were just guests. And for them to back me up that day, oh my God. I wouldn't have been able to do it.
When I said I was gonna go to Wayne to pick up, I didn't mean the
Right.
turntables and all
Yep,
that stuff.
Exactly. So, yeah.
This guy. That's probably all the picking up he did that day anyways.
Yeah. He was taking care of me.
Sana, colita de rana.
Bro, man, it was so bad. There's a picture of it too on IG. We're all happy about it, but I'm like, I can't believe it. It's a lie. I was in so much pain.
The turntables are fine though. The party went on.
Up to right now, bro. Those turntables.
That's a true DJ right there. That's all about it right there.
That's wild.
That was so bad.
That's excellent. Mad respect.
Thank you, man. I mean, you know, I wasn't gonna spend another. Now they're worth more. So that particular turntable I've had since '95.
Yeah.
That
Wow.
and I still rock that in my streams. Those are the ones.
That's cool.
So,
Well, dude, congratulations. You saved the turntable.
I
When you were
did.
telling the story, I was like, damn, those turntables are
Yeah,
broken.
I
The
thought they were
turntables are
done
broken.
for.
Yeah.
The turntables are broken. It's like the
Psych.
ankle. I was like, wait, what?
no, I broke
not
my.
so
I'd rather
bad.
break my ankle for this shit.
That's not so bad. That's not so bad.
Oh, it was that day.
When he said I put my life for this shit, he meant it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was bad. We had a good time though.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Pick up, but it was fun though. Seeing the fine chicks from where I was at. It was fun. So moving on. So where do you see yourself in 5 years from this point? Speedy D.
I know, right?
Why the D? Why the D?
Oh, for dog.
Speedy dog?
Yeah, because at first it started off as speed dog, and you can't tell now, but in junior high, I was pretty fast, and that's how it started. And yeah, that's what it was. That's what it all started, you know. And I'm short, so they would always say Speedy Gonzalez and this and that. And I had a friend that would always say, "Oh man, that's speed dog right there." But he said it so cool. I was like, "What'd you
Oh,
say?"
yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, and then
Speed
so
dog.
it just went from there, and it was. Have you ever met people like that were like they were just cool like that?
Yeah.
And anything they just said, you're like, this motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's how he was at that age. So when he said it, everyone caught on to it. Like, hey, that's pretty cool. So that's what it was for junior high. And then when I went into high school, I just broke it down. I went to Speedy D, and I never changed it.
That's
It
cool.
just stuck.
Cool.
And then my passion for dogs. I love dogs.
Yeah.
So what was the other thing?
5 years from now.
Where do you
years
see
from
yourself?
now. Yes, 5 years from now. I always have a hard time answering those questions, man. When it comes to German, I learned to just be honest with myself and really put it out there. So essentially
I
what
just want it to be recorded so we could track back to this
Yes.
moment right here.
So
This was the day when Rigo showed us his Tesla for the first time. This is our first show. You guys are the first guys. You got booked for a dope gig at a new venue. And Caro,
Yep.
what's going on?
Yeah.
Mijares and Cristian Castro. Un chingo de tías.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be.
Speedy D.
Yep. That's all right.
I love it. That's a great.
Your
It's
tía's
even fun to
favorite
say.
DJ
it.
mañana.
I like Speedy D.
Yep. Or yeah, that's what it's going to be. So 5 years from now, like I told Saturn, I would love to be part of some sort of show where I'm the show. In essence, people are calling me to show up to these things because it's me.
Yeah.
It's not like the Galaxy or you know or any other venue where it's like here or Christian play. And
Yeah.
I want someone to call me and be like, we got to get this guy to perform here, and all he does is DJ.
Yeah.
Because that's already happening with a bunch of DJs that you hear of, like Tiesto or whatever, that kind of thing. And if they could do it, I don't see why I'm far off from it.
Do you want the notoriety